Hey guys, the modifier pop-up from Better Pay menu just had a big update, so let me show you what you can do with it. So first, what is this modifier pop-up? This is just that. This is a pop-up that will help you to edit, to add and edit all the modifiers, and it will work with different type of objects. As you can see right now, this is a curve. This is a grease pencil. I will have modifiers for grease pencil. This is a lattice. I will have the modifiers for the lattice, meshes, and curves here, and of course the font and the surface. Okay. For each type of object, you will have some favorites. You can disable this if you don't want to use it, and if you enable it, you will have this. If you check, you will have different type of favorites. Okay. To edit those favorites, go in the Blender preferences. In the add-on settings, click on options, and at the bottom you will have modifier settings. Okay? And for each type of object, mesh modifier, you will be able to enable what you want. For example, if I want to activate the decimate, if I check, I don't have the decimate, so let's activate it, and now I will have my decimate. Okay? I will disable it. That will work with the meshes, the curves, font, surface modifiers, like that. If I select the curve, as you can see, I have all of this. If I add the remesh, I will have now the remesh. Okay. If I go to the lattice, I will have the modifiers for the lattice, the grease pencil, the curves, and the constraint, because this modifier allows you to add constraint. If you select an object, you click on this little icon and you will have the constraint pop-up. And that will be exactly the same as the modifier, but for constraint. Okay? Let's continue. So after that, you will have the list. So if you click here, you will have this view. This is the basic Blender view for modifiers. And if you activate the list, you will have the list and have only one modifier at the bottom here. Okay, so as you can see, this is pretty nice. If, let's see, I add another bevel, I will have my other bevel, I will be able to edit it a little bit, and I will have my result here. Okay? So, at the bottom of the favorites, you will have a little plus here that will allow you to add the favorites, the modifier favorites, because this is different from the basic modifier you will add with this one. And I will show you this after. Okay, so let's activate it once again. And this one, that will be to search something. For example, if I want the shrink warp, I will be able to have my shrink warp. If I want the, for example, edit wedge split, I will have the edge split. So even if the favorite is not there, you can search for it for the modifier you want just here. If you have some modifiers, you can hide the modifiers, hide render the modifiers, that will work on all the modifiers, apply the modifiers, and remove the modifiers. And for each modifier, you will have the line, the item in the list, and you will be able to do whatever you want. And as you can see, you will have this, oh, my bad, you will be able to move it after, like that, and to remove it if you want, like that. Okay? I can add it once again after that. So it will be exactly the same for every type of object. If I select the curves, I will have the favorites for my curves, I will have the search for my curves, the menu for my curves, the search for my curves. For example, if I click on set, I will have the set profile. If I click on, let's see, do we have something with G? Yes, generate, etc. So you can do whatever you want. And same, you will have the modifiers that will be here. Okay? So same for grease pencils. So you will have the favorites, you will have the menu, you will have the search, like that, if you want. You will have the list, and you will have the modifier here. And obviously you can edit everything here. Okay? So this is simple, that works with everything in Blender. After, something different from basic Blender. If, let's see, you add an array, so generate array, with Blender, you will have this result, and this is not what you want. So let's get rid of everything. If you do the same with the modifier Popup, you will be able to have this kind of result, and after, if you keep pressing Alt here, you will be able to edit both modifiers. You can delete both, and click on OK. Okay? So if you check, if you have two objects selected, so let's add an array and let's add a bevel on this one. If I have this one and this one selected, I will have those buttons. This one will allow you to copy the modifier you want. I will click on OK. I can do that, bevel, click on OK, as you can see. Let's get rid of the modifiers of this object. The second one will copy directly all the modifiers. Easy peasy, just fast, like that. And let's see, the third one, if you have several objects selected, you will be able to delete by type. For example, I want to delete all the bevel modifier on my object. I will click on OK, like that. And all the bevel modifiers have been removed. So if I want to add once again, I will have this result. Okay? So this is the same for the constraint. So let's see, let's add a constraint on this object. Copy, location, and scale. If I select this one, I will have copy, and I can, for example, copy location and rotation. And now on this one, I will only have copy, rotation, and location. So let's get rid of this one. Copy all. So now if I check, I will have everything. And in fact, I can delete by type and select copy, location, and rotation. And now on my object, as you can see, I will just have the scale, copy scale. Okay? Like this. Okay, let me show you something interesting with the constraints. So if you have an object that cannot support modifiers, you will directly have the constraint pop up. You will be able to add some constraint, and as you can see, since I'm in object mode, the constraint will be in object constraint. If I select another type of object that supports modifier, I can click to switch between modifier and constraint. Okay? If I go on an armature in pose mode, select, let's see, one bone and add, let's see, a limit distance, this one will be in bone constraint. Okay? So like that, the add-on will know which mode you are. If I call, as you can see, I have this icon for the pose constraint here, and if I go in object mode, I will have this icon, constraint pop-up. Okay? So let's go back to the pose. Let's remove this one. You have this little icon here. So this one is new. This is to add a pose constraint with target. Okay? That means if I select this bone and this one will be the target, and this one will receive the constraint. That means if I click on copy rotation, I will have, as you can see, the armature and the bone as target. Okay? So now if I select this one, I make a rotation, as you can see, it works. Nice. This is the same with, I will activate it with any object, copy rotation, copy scale. So if I select, I scale this one and rotate it, that will work. Okay? So on this one, I just have to remove the constraint like that. So as you can see, this is really nice. That works with pose constraint and object constraint. You need to have two objects selected to be able to activate it. Okay? If you don't, that will not work. So, this is nice for the constraint, but what can we do for the modifiers? And in fact, this is exactly the same. I have two objects here. Let's go on the modifier. I have the same icon here. As you can see, I can disable it. So if I disable it, if I add an array, I will have this result. Okay? So I can press Alt and click to add different settings. And this is the same as Blender. You press Alt, keep pressing it and change the value. It will change on all the selected objects. Okay? So this is nice because I added the modifier on my selection. If we check on Blender itself, let's go here and add, let's see, an array. Like that, as you can see, it only works on the active object. And this is not great. If, let's see, I will select this one and this one just to show you. I activate this This is the add modifier with target. Since it's possible to make this with the constraint, why not make this with the modifiers? So that means if, let's see, I add a mirror. I don't have a mirror here, so let's search for the mirror. Okay, so my mirror is there. Bam! I have my mirror, and my mirror object is done already, like that. As you can see, this is nice. If, let's see, I take this one, come here, select both, and add a boolean, bam, I will have my object as boolean. So like that, I can edit the boolean on the fly. On this object, I can add a bevel, I can increase this, decrease that. I can, let's see, add normal, no, I want, in fact, this smooth by angle. I can add it from here, smooth by angle, or directly here. And let's add the weighted normal too. And that's it, I have my object. On this one, I can add a bevel, I can edit the value, I can edit this, let's increase the number of settings, of segments, and that's it, okay? So, same, if, let's see, let's place the cursor to the selection, let's add a lattice, let's scale the lattice. If I select my lattice and my object, the option is always on, and I will just search for my lattice here, bam. And now, if I select my lattice and edit my lattice, let's come here, as you can see, it will work. Okay, so just like that, with the option to add the modifiers with target, we simplify a lot the modifiers themselves. This is really nice. You can search for the favorites here, and here you will have the list of the modifiers. That will be the same for this. You can search and you will have the list here. That will be the same for grease pencil. You can search, for example, if I make smooth, with S, etc., etc. So if, let's see, I add an array, I will have my array. If I select those two, I can copy all the modifiers on the selection. As you can see, it works. I can hide everything, I can hide render, I can apply, I can remove, etc., etc. I can also edit the modifiers for the grease pencil, because right now I have everything and I don't want everything. Let's just add those ones. As you can see, let's remove one, the length maybe, up, or maybe one, the dash, and I have something nice. Just save my setting, my preferences, and that's it. Oula, I was too fast. So my preferences are now gone. Okay, so as you can see, with this modifier pop-up, adding modifiers, editing everything is really easy. And same for the constraint. This is how it should be from Blender from the beginning, because this is really nice. You have the favorites, and if you don't use the favorite, you will have the basic constraint. And for modifiers and for the constraint, if you add modifiers and constraint from those menus, you will not have the add modifier with target. Okay, so take this into account. So that's it for this video for the modifier pop-up. I personally really like it. It was a lot of work. I still have some work to do until I upload this version, and I hope you will like it, and don't hesitate to share some feedback about this. See you later for another video for Better Pie Menu.